Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Draw with Annie. Today, we're going to create a very simple yet bold and colorful illustration using just 3 or 4 brushes, bold black outlines, and some very basic flat coloring. But wait, don't let the word simple fool you. We're still going to end up with a super fun, vibrant artwork that pops off the canvas, but still get a maximum impact. So let's get started. First things first, let's set up our canvas. Create a square canvas, something big, ideally above 3000 by 3000 pixels. This gives us enough room to draw freely, and your final artwork will stay crisp even if you decide to print it or zoom in later. Now in your Layers panel, tap on the white circle below the first layer thumbnail. Let's pick a nice off-white color for our base. Now here's a pro tip. Toggle on texture for your canvas. It gives that lovely, slightly grainy feel, especially useful when you're sketching or shading. Play around with the depth and opacity of the texture. I personally keep the opacity very low. We don't want it to overpower the artwork. And adjust depth depending on the brush I plan to use. Now it's sketching time. I'm going with a reddish brown for my pencil color. It's easy on the eyes and blends well into the sketch without looking too harsh. For the brush, head over to the Pencils tab and choose the HB pencil. Let's start roughing out the layout. Nothing detailed yet, just placing elements to get a good composition. I'm placing a small cloud on the left, a bigger cloud on the bottom right, and connecting the two with a big, inverted U shape. That's our rainbow. I then adjusted the thickness of the rainbow, thinner as it moves away to the smaller cloud, and thicker as it comes forward to the bigger cloud. This gives a nice little depth and perspective to the drawing. Then I added cute smiley faces to both clouds, because hey, who doesn't love happy clouds? Next, I created a new layer to sketch the background. That way, if I make any mistakes, I won't accidentally ruin the clouds and rainbow I just sketched. On this background layer, I drew a loose circle around the main elements, then held my pen down, and boom, it turned into a perfect circle. Tapping on it lets you scale, rotate, or stretch the circle to fit your composition. Once I was happy with the position, I added more background elements, rolling hills, a peaking sun, a few pine trees, and some fun floating shapes like stars and circles, to make the drawing feel playful and light. Don't overdo it. We want this illustration to feel cute and minimal. All right, now for the fun part, inking. For the black outlines, I'm using the manga inker brush from the pens section. First, I merged my sketch layers, the ones for the rainbow, clouds, and hills, so I can focus on inking layer by layer. Now, create a new layer for your ink work. As I started tracing the left cloud, I noticed the lines were looking a little jittery. So here's how to fix that. With the manga inker selected, go into brush settings, head to the stroke section, and crank up the smoothness. I go pretty high, even all the way up. Now when I trace, the lines are so much cleaner. Go ahead and ink both clouds, the smiley faces, and the rainbow shape. Keep all these on one foreground layer. Then make another layer for background outlines. Same trick for the circle. Draw loosely, hold down to make it a perfect shape. Ink in the hills, the trees, and don't forget to give that sun a cute little smile. Also, I drew a tiny cloud over the sun that overlaps with the rainbow. It's okay because they're on separate layers, so it won't mess up our drawing. And now, final inking step. Draw those floating stars and circles on a separate layer. These tiny elements really bring everything together. Let's move on to coloring now. Start by hiding the ink layers temporarily. We'll first paint the background. Keep only the background outlines visible and create a new layer below it for the color fills. Grab the paint bucket tool. Pick a warm yellow for the sun. But oops, see how the color just spills across the whole canvas? Let's fix that. Tap on the paint bucket settings and set it to reference all layers. Now undo and fill again. This time it stays neatly within the sun. Repeat this for other elements. Use a pastel sky blue for the sky, a bluish green for the distant hills, a yellow green for the closer ones. Mix of dark greens for the pine trees. Each color goes on its own layer. This helps if we want to edit or alpha lock them later. Now let's paint the rainbow and clouds. To avoid interference from background lines, let's group all background layers together and hide the group. Just touch 2 layers with your fingers and pinch them. They'll jump into a new group automatically. Now, with only the foreground visible, create a layer below the inked rainbow and clouds, and fill in the clouds with a soft sky blue. Use a pink tone for the rainbow, and maybe a warm chrome yellow for the little stars, and orange for the floating circles. You can now group these elements too. Group 1 for clouds and rainbow, Group 2 for stars and supporting shapes. Keeping everything organized like this makes your file so much easier to manage. Now let's give our colors a little extra love. We'll be adding slight variations and textures to our fills so they don't feel too flat. Let's start with the sky. Pick the solid fill brush under the fills section. Tap and hold to pick the current sky color, and then tweak it slightly on the color wheel. Now, paint soft strokes across the sky to create a gentle gradient feel. Before painting on a layer, don't forget to alpha lock it. This ensures your new strokes stay within the shape. You can do the same with the hills. Add slight green variations. For texture, try using the debris fill brush instead of the solid one. It adds this lovely speckled look that gives the drawing a bit of grit and charm. Repeat this process for the clouds and the rainbow. Add small touches of color variations and white highlights to give them a shiny, sparkling appearance. Our simple, cute, and cheerful illustration is ready to rock. Super easy, right? But it still looks colorful and professional. Do try this style out on your own, and if you do, share your version with me on Instagram. I'd love to see your creations. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Until next time, bye-bye, and keep drawing with Annie.